We've got to talk about this today because, listen to this, Mike Brown is now just 2 wins away from winning the NBA Finals under the bright lights of New York City. And just a few years ago, we can't just brush this off like it didn't happen, but DeMar DeRozan and De'Aaron Fox reportedly played a role in Mike Brown being fired as head coach of the Sacramento Kings. He allegedly suggested DeMar DeRozan come off the bench, and he called out Fox multiple times when it came to leadership responsibilities. And there were even rumors that those guys went upstairs and spoke directly to the front office executives. So yeah, let's really break this down.
What I understand, it just ran its course very fast and surprisingly. This was a team who we all had and still have high hopes for, and they fell short of those expectations under his leadership. And that happens, and that's no slight to his pedigree as a coach. Players get traded for a lack of a fit. Coaches aren't immune to that, So I'm hearing there was just some pushback from how De'Aaron Fox was continuously being singled out, whether it was publicly or behind the scenes, or the players just didn't agree with that sentiment. Or, I was even hearing whispers that there was a situation where he might have asked, or suggested that even DeMar DeRozan come off the bench, and those things proved to be severe missteps in an already challenging season.
Listen to this. As we step into this final stretch of the series, Mike Brown is just 2 wins away from sending De'Aaron Fox and the San Antonio Spurs packing home. His former point guard, the same one who's allegedly tied to the situation that led to his exit, is now on the opposite side just watching Mike Brown completely thrive in this moment. And now I remember, Matt Barnes had plenty to say about Mike Brown when he first entered the fold this season, and that energy is definitely worth revisiting.
And the next year, Phil's thinking about coming back. For some reason, Jim doesn't like and doesn't give Phil the proper amount of time to respond, and goes and hires Mike Brown, and that shit was a disaster. People really used to Phil's way, and Mike's way is different, and he definitely didn't have the respect of the locker room, and that was kind of the beginning of, or that was kind of the end, I felt, of Cove's window to possibly win it, because you got to think.
What about Mike Brown to the Knicks? Will it work? I got one hand saying, fuck no.
The one thing about Mike Brown is that first year
is always good. Mike is a great person. He's just, to me, he's not a leader of men. You have to be, I couldn't imagine it now because these kids are making so much money. You have to have the respect of them. And I think Mike is such a nice guy. That's what fucks Mike up. Mike wants to be cool with everyone instead of putting his foot down like, this is my team, this is what's going on. So that's why I feel like I've seen it. He was my coach with the Lakers. We had Mike after Phil Jackson retired. And when I tell you, rest in peace to my dog, Kobe and Ron Artest, they walked all over that motherfucker. They used to sub themselves in and out of games. I'm just like, oh, shit.
Hold up, Matt Barnes isn't the only one throwing these kinds of takes around about Mike Brown. I believe Stephen A. Smith even went as far as saying if he doesn't win, he's gone this year. Others were flat out claiming that Mike Brown's championship window is basically right now. If they end up dropping in the first or second round, something like that, then it's straight to the exit as head coach. And he steps into New York carrying all of that heavy pressure and expectation on his back. He's also had a little ongoing back and forth with Cat earlier this year. And we're about to break down what he said about that, because this right here is exactly what makes him such a special coach.
2 games Karl Towns has played as complete a basketball games, I think, after you've seen him play probably this season. What has your journey with him been like from the start of the season to now, embracing his role, embracing the small details to maybe a full maturation at this point?
It's supposed to be like it is, like it was. He's a great player. I come in with a plan, maybe the plan doesn't work. Who adjusts, him or me? Me. I adjust. The adjustment's not enough.
Do you think score the basketball better than he does?
Every once in a while, we're not on the same page. We talk about it. We talk about it. I adjust again. A little bit better. He's feeling good. We talk about it. We talk. Maybe we take a couple steps backwards because what I did he doesn't like, which is fine. It's my job as a coach to fit whatever scheme work we have on both sides of the floor to all of our players. And if you're a great player, I got to make a little bit more adjustments, or I got to give a little bit more than you do. And we finally got to a point where he was comfortable, I was comfortable, Jalen was comfortable, OG was comfortable, Mikal was comfortable. And to me, that's what the regular season's about. The regular season is about finding your way so you can get prepared for this time of the year. And there's going to be a lot of ups and downs. And I hope there's adversity. I hope like hell there's adversity.
Where did I go to high school?
Because we have to see if we're strong enough when it comes to being connected to see if we can get through it during the regular season. So when we get here, anything we run into, we've already conquered during the regular season. We'll know how to handle it.
Listen to this. The way I break down that clip, it all circles back to leadership from Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart, and Mikal Bridges. You've got that full Villanova-type culture running through this group, and that matters more than people think. What I mean is simple. These guys were shaped under Jay Wright, so credit has to go there, because they've been conditioned to be coached hard and accept structure that already brought them championships at the college level. It makes a huge difference when your leaders can actually be coached, or even better, coachable leaders setting the tone. Josh Hart is basically the heart and soul of this team. He'll give you 3 points and 15 rebounds and completely lose himself in winning basketball, yet still commands a real locker room presence. Then you've got Jalen Brunson, a true floor general, vocal, steady, the head of the snake, basically an extension of the coach right there on the court. And Mikal Bridges, don't forget, this is a guy who redshirted in college and had to earn everything step by step, never came in as a guaranteed star but built it all the hard way. So these are players built brick by brick, used to stacking good days and trusting the process through structure and discipline. When you plug someone like Karl Anthony Towns into that kind of system, there's always going to be an adjustment period. He's had struggles fitting into different systems before, whether it was with Thibodeau in Minnesota or Finch later on, and now even with Mike Brown this season, including moments where he's been called out. At first, it looked like we might see the same pattern again repeating itself. But after he was empowered following Game 3 of that Hawks series, something shifted in a major way. It almost felt like everything finally clicked during this playoff run, even with some early inconsistencies still hanging around. They had struggled against the Pistons throughout the season too, but that still felt like the old version of Brunson-heavy ISO basketball. The big change came when Karl Anthony Towns was used as a decision-maker up top, and that unlocked everything. Now OG Anunoby looks comfortable in the system, and Mikal Bridges, even on off-shooting nights like against Cleveland, the machine keeps rolling. The depth pieces like Landry Shamet and Deuce McBride are stepping in, and even Jordan Clarkson hasn't needed a breakout game yet, though it could come in a Garden moment anytime. Jose Alvarado has been a perfect extension of the coach on the floor, especially during those minutes when Brunson was out injured, bringing pressure and pace that changed games. He's a spark plug guard, and in the minutes he's played, he's delivered exactly that disruptive energy and tempo shift. And when you zoom out on all of this, it's wild to see Mike Brown now positioned to potentially send De'Aaron Fox home, especially considering Fox was allegedly tied to the same voices that pushed against him in Sacramento. And honestly, watching that storyline unfold in real time just adds another layer to how wild this entire situation really is. Hold up, who would have ever predicted a matchup like this on a stage this big, with everything on the line for a shot at the NBA championship? And now you've got De'Aaron Fox potentially facing Mike Brown just a few years after they shared real success together and even battled through that Warriors first-round series. Mike Brown actually gave that franchise its strongest stretch in years as head coach, something they hadn't seen in a long time. But the way he was let go the very next season, almost like a quick reset when they weren't trending toward that next leap, still raises eyebrows. Then they bring in Doug Christie, and the results still haven't really shifted in a meaningful way. And it really says a lot about how quickly things change in this league, and how coaches can end up validated when they land in the right situation. If he pulls this off in a tougher market like New York, his name is going to be locked into Knicks history for good. At that point, it all comes down to finishing the job, protecting these home games, or just grabbing 2 wins in the next 5. So now I want to hear what you think. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.